All right, good evening, Kuwait. Welcome back to The Pulse, our fourth episode, quarantine edition. So I'm about to add our participants, so if you just stay cool with me. So basically, let's get the show on a roll. So I think what we talked about last time was the fact about, we talked about how the triangle, the champions triangle, okay? But there's something that, when you look at the triangle, there's a question that always comes in mind is why do us as parents, or why do us as parents basically encourage our children to do sports, all right? Or why do children do sports in general?
So I can list some things about it. So I believe one reason they start is to learn the new things, okay? I believe it's the most common for everyone. And from learning new things, probably they want to improve their physical skills. Now, as they are improving, for sure, they are looking for competition experience. Okay, so this is one more reason. And now, for me, the most important is for fun. Okay, a lot of them start for fun. And then to make friends and be a part of a group. Okay, and now, overall, they want to improve their fitness level. So I believe I think it was 7, 8.
Okay, so to recap on what Coach just said, okay, he was talking about, the why do children do sports? And one thing is because, they learn new things. All right, it's important for children to learn new things, to develop their experience, to gain confidence, to do all that. All right, improve their physical skills. We look at sports as a lifestyle. Sometimes it's so important, just to stay fit, to stay healthy and all. Okay, competition experience does develop character. It develops this fierce character of approaching the world, to accept challenges, to create these goals for yourself, and try to excel upon them. All right, and for a very important reason, fun is a major aspect in choosing the sport, right? Because at the end, you don't want them just to sit in the screen, in front of a screen, all day long. You want them to go outside. You want them to experience new things with other people, to socialize and all, which comes to the next point, which is making friends. Okay, improve their fitness level. It's directly in touch with the. It's directly in touch with what's it called? With improving their physical skills. So I'm going to invite him again. So, Coach, let's talk about why, what makes a child. Let's talk about what makes a child continue to do the sport.
To continue. Okay.
Yeah.
We listed the reasons before, so some of them are also related. So if they start for having fun, okay, probably they continue having fun, okay, and they like it. So since they wanted to be a part of a group, perhaps they made the social contacts bigger, okay, so they have more social contacts. And through all this, they earn appreciation and respect. Okay? And now, they wanted to start the sport for new things, to learn new things, and they see the development. So it's a reason for them to continue. Okay? And the independence, as they grow bigger, okay, they get more independent. And at the end, if they like it, it's a sport profession. Okay, they want to continue and become professional on this sport.
So, if we look at this, if
it's
we look at
very common.
Of course, if we look at the child continue the sport, do you think the parent has something to do do parents have something to do with their children? You know, do parents have an effect in having their children continue in that sport? So let's assume, like, for example, I'm a parent that loves football, okay, but I don't like swimming, right? Does this have, you know, or let's rephrase it in a different way, okay? Let's look at, why do parents want their kids in sports? It's better if we say it that way, right? All right, so why do parents want their children in sport? You know, us as parents, you know, we look at all these benefits that come with sports, you know, but you know, we just look at it. Sometimes we look at it as sheer appreciation for that sport. But why exactly do parents want their kids in sports?
I believe the number one reason will be to keep them healthy, especially nowadays that you know the lifestyle is sedentary. Now, the independency, we talked about this earlier, okay? Even the parents are looking for, okay? They want an independent kid. So they want him to learn how to work on his own, okay? And rely on himself or herself. Now, spending a lot of hours, okay, at home, they want their kids to get out this energy, okay? It's important for a parent, okay, to help the kid and get out the energy. Confidence, so they can become brave and get some confidence, okay, to become responsible. That will also help them in the future in their lives, even if they are out of the sports. They can get, okay, physical and psychological tolerance. Okay, we know that the athletes can tolerate stressful situation much more than non-athletes. And discipline, okay, and focusing. It helps with the concentration. So they have plenty of good reasons,
you know,
to want their kids in the sports.
You know, I looked at one of the reasons why children do sports, and one thing is it's about competition, right? Because, you know, children love these challenges. You know, one thing I like about, you know, how it develops a character of a child is the fact that these competitions, okay, give children goals, okay, and how they reach their goals, okay, is how we develop them in life, to become more goal oriented. So let's assume later on in swimming, you know, talking from a swimming perspective now, okay. For example, you know, I have this, you know, when I was a child, I used to always aim for, you know, I used to always plan my competitions ahead, right? So I used to look at, you know, oh, you know, I had the GCC championship coming up, okay, and then I had basically the Asian championships coming up, and then so and so and so, right? And then, you know, I'd sit down with the coach and we'd look at basically the program that, you know, we had ready for these type of competitions. And the fact that I was working that way, okay, it developed this ideology. It developed this ideology whereby I would tackle. Okay, I would tackle the same way, you know, when I started working, you know, I would plan my schedule accordingly, and, you know, plan all these objectives in front of me, and how, you know, so what I learned in swimming, okay, trickled down with me in the workforce, and, you know, that's a trait, you know, that I'm also getting my children, you know, focusing on. Is the competitive aspect and how it develops them later in. But, you know, with that being said, okay, there are a lot of situations, you know, that occur in this path, you know. And one thing is, you know, you get these children that don't, you know, you get these children that don't achieve their goals, and all of a sudden, you know, they just quit on sports in general. And I think, you know, a final question to ask is, why do children stop sports?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, I will start from the end that you said, they don't like the results. Usually, this is anxiety, okay? And it's coming because they are either victory oriented, okay, and the victory doesn't come, so they lose interest, or there are high expectations from their environment, okay. So the environment, probably the family or relatives overall, okay. So they set like non-realistic goals and they create high expectations and then it becomes stress. Now, other reasons can be no progress, okay. They feel like there is no progress anymore, so what's the reason for me to continue? I can focus on studies, on my studies. And usually when there is no progress, there is low motivation, okay. Low motivation can be there also from other reasons. Maybe they moved houses and now it's further, okay, it's more time in the car. Or friends left the team and they don't like it anymore. So yes, low motivation. Maybe they are interested in something else. I can also talk about myself that at the age of 15, I all of a sudden grew 16 centimeters, okay? And from swimming, immediately I wanted to play basketball because of my height. Now, I strongly believe, though, that the trend, okay, and based on a lot of studies, is what we say: too much, too often, too soon. A lot of work. And unfortunately, this happens to swimmers a lot. Okay, it's a sport that you have to start from a young age and develop your skills. So, and unfortunately, we are very results oriented. The majority, okay, of the coaches and the clubs, and that gives a lot of work to the kids. Okay, they try to get these amazing, outstanding results in a young age, and then all this work will give a burnout to the kid, either mental or physical, and then they stop. And then all the other things are related to this. When they have a lot of work, it's low motivation, or maybe they don't progress anymore because they did everything in the beginning, in an early age.
I think there's something that we should talk about. Usually, it's basically the plateauing. I think one thing, basically, a lot of, in swimming, in particular, there's a word we use when the swimmer basically does not improve as much as he wants to, as much as they continue doing practice, and they're always dedicated and they're very persistent. Okay, but their times just never improve. And I believe, the term we use is basically they plateau. That means they don't improve no matter what. Okay, I believe that would be an interesting subject that we can talk about in the next live interview. Is why do swimmers plateau and how to overcome that sometimes.
And but sometimes, especially in the young ages, it's not necessarily a plateau. Okay, don't forget that when you grow, okay, so you are in this period of your life, okay, of still growing, sometimes the body focuses on other parts, okay? So maybe your body sometimes focuses on the development of the bones, of your organs, of many things, okay? And there is no progress in performance because of this, okay? So the focus is not, let's say, muscular, like on the muscles or how to swim faster, okay? Probably it's on your length of the bones, okay, or the development of the organs. That's why sometimes you see the swimmers, have no progress in young ages, and then all of a sudden they go back to normal.
So So there's another thing, you know, that we always look at, especially like in our program.
So they shouldn't be worried.
Yeah, but there's one thing that we always look at, you know, in the elite swim team is the burnout, is swimming, is swimmer burnout. And, you know, we try to avoid that as much as we can, you know, because we do have some parents, you know, and this is something that exists in every single swim team probably around the world, is the fact that the parent comes and he says, you know, oh, you know, he wants his child to be the next Olympic champion. But and you know, they come with the knowledge of, you know, the harder you squeeze them, the more you get out of them. Okay, yeah. which in fact, you know, ties into burning the child out. You know, and a lot of we noticed a lot of programs that fall into that trap. You know, and children burn out at a very young age. You know, they get just sick and tired of doing the sport because of that. So, what are your insights on burnouts, Coach?
It's coming down to what I told you before, like too much, too often, and too soon. Like, but okay, the burnout in these ages can also be mental. Okay, sometimes, and not physical, or in conjunction with the growth. Okay, they do many things while growing, and they have a big linear progress. And then it doesn't exist anymore. So they don't have new things to try, and there is a burnout. Not physically, I believe too much, mostly mentally, and they have nothing new to do, you know, like also the growth stops.
Yeah.
So it looks like a burnout.
All right. I think, what do you think? Should we talk about, I think that would be an interesting subject to talk about, is swimmers' burnouts and the difference between burnout and plateauing. I think that would be a very interesting topic to talk about. Anyway, I think we're coming close to closing things down. You know, thank goodness your internet connection finally worked, you know. I was in trouble a bit because, you know, I was thinking, oh, should I just answer the questions myself or should I just wait for Coach to come? Because, you know, the Pulse is all about this, you know, going back and forth with questions and answers. But I see, you know, on a positive note, you know, we should tell the people watching us right now, you know, about your fish and how you feed them protein and how well you take care of them. And fish, I mean by the aquarium behind you and not your swimmers.
You see, with the right pellets, they never plateau. Look very active. Did you count the laps?
You know, I'm mesmerized by them, like swimming right behind you always. So I don't know whether to look at you or look at the fish, to be honest.
It was a trick.
Yes,
and the bubbles.
And your trick worked. Your trick worked. Anyway, Coach. Well, you know, thank you for participating today. I'm glad your internet connection finally worked at the end. And, you know, thank you for everybody that, you know, watched us, you know, and I apologize for the network interference in the beginning. But, you know, it's great to see, you know, I hope everybody stays safe and you know, follows the law, the quarantine law. So, because we are following it right now, we're following the quarantine law. I'm in my house and Coach is at his house, you know, so we'll see you guys next week talking about burnouts and plateauing. Have a great night, Coach. Take care.
Good night to everyone. Good night. Next time. See you next time.
All right.